Discovery Plus. I'm sure we'll see action as well from it later on here on Eurosport. Last 16 of the Shanghai Masters, a battle of two former world champions here. Shaun Murphy of England, John Higgins of Scotland. Very tough match to call, except that John Higgins has had a match already. He beat Lu Haiqian 6-1. Murphy seeded through, but he's always ready for any tournament. Neil Fold's alongside me. Yeah, I mean, well, toss a coin, I guess, Neil. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a clash of two of the very leading players in the game for a long time. I think it's next year's World Championship will be a 20-year anniversary of when Murphy won it as a qualifier. Been at the top since then, and of course Higgins even longer. So you're right, it's anybody's, this match. You're right to also mention the fact that Higgins had played a match, and he played very well, I thought, against Lu Haiqian. So that might give him the edge. Well, that's an early error. He went for the pot, and against the nap of the cloth, you can do what he did, hit it too much of the red, and given an early in for Shaun Murphy here, whose cue didn't turn up immediately that he arrived. It came, I think, a day later. Always a worrying moment for any snooker player when that happens. But it's here now, and he's here.
Starting the season 7 in the world. Now, this is not a ranking event, so there's no points, but he does have later on in the season a lot of points coming off, so it's one of those where we're looking for a good start to the season to nail down that top 16 spot. We saw what happened last season, of course, to Neil Robertson. This is running a bit, this cue ball.
Yeah, I mean, the table is like absolutely lightning. I'm sure whatever they're using to practice on in this venue are quick, but not lightning quick as these match tables. Even the great O'Sullivan was called out by it a few times yesterday. So he overhit that one considerably from brown to his next red. So he's had to learn the hard way about the pace of the better the table they're playing on.
Well, Higgins relieved, having left that red, that he wasn't punished. Yeah, of course, John Higgins also has kept his top 16 place, albeit at 16. So again, when the ranking events crank into gear, he'll be looking early on to ensure that he's at the UK Championship, ensure that he's at the Masters, and obviously ultimately at the Crucible. I think regardless of whether he wins this match or how far he goes in the tournament, it would be nice to see Higgins make that 1000th century here in a big tournament, because his next engagement will be qualifying in Leicester next week, and you know, if it happened there, it's still a great achievement, but obviously there wouldn't be any great acclaim, any crowd or sort of live TV coverage.
Yeah, I guess that if he's still here at the weekend, he will have made it. The tables appear to be conducive to big scoring, as well as I've said, they're very fast. But if he is still here in a couple of rounds, I'll be amazed if he hasn't knocked in a couple of centuries.
He does lead the head-to-head, but he'd be wary of Murphy, obviously, through experience. And as I mentioned, that last match at the World Grand Prix last season, Murphy started with a 1-4-5. He won 4-0 in about 45 minutes. I mean, the match barely got going and he was through. You saw Higgins wincing there because he'd left that red. So chance number 2 for Shaun. Spent a bit of the close season in North America. He did a little tour there, went to the Ox Billiards Club in Seattle, went to Canada, and spoke to him about it. He said there's a lot of interest in North America in snooker. Obviously,
6.
it's a vast place. It's all puns intended, pockets of North America where there's interest, but he was pleased to see people recognised him and recognised the game.
7.
I think Shaun Murphy is the kind of player that nobody else on the tour would ever go into a match against with any guarantees they're going to win it, because Murphy at his best is as good as anybody. Even somebody with a good head-to-head against Shaun Murphy would not assume that it's going to continue.
Thank you. 13.
You know, his best is absolutely lethal, especially his long game and the confidence he exudes when he's playing well. It's going to be a difficult break though from here, with the black tied up, and if it ever was potted, the spot is not opened, and of course the pink's awkward as well, so it's a hard table. And even here, where does his next colour come from, unless he goes back for the blue?
19. $20. $25.
Last time we saw him on our screens on Eurosport, he of course lost that rather feisty affair at the World Championship to Stephen Maguire.
Yeah, it was a proper match, wasn't it, between those two? Evenly matched, go back years. And as usual, a couple of crucial frames that Maguire won made all the difference in the overall outcome. Maguire was the deserved winner. And he's on that right hand ready for 3 below the pink spot.
$32.
Well, he seems to be looking at trying to make the plant here.
Yeah, I mean, even if the red did pass the other ones, the pink's now got in the way, I think. The plant it is. Plants are very good at plants now. I mean, they were kind of facing towards the pocket, those two reds, and he had to just move it across a little. It wasn't a dead on. As you can see, he had to hit the first red thinner than the potting angle contact.
Well, it's his second chance. Of course, the first one went awry pretty quickly. Just lost the cue ball, but of course he's coming in cold. Higgins has had a match already. Shaun Murphy, he prepares very well for matches. He still loves putting the suits on, walking out there in these big tournaments.
39.
Even that shot struck with great authority, although slightly
42.
awkward cueing with the pink ball. I think he can probably get to centre ball, striking on the red.
$43.
Now he can clearly play on the top red here. That's very open, but he'll need one of the other 5. Well, certainly a part of that. He had the shot to play the cannon. He decides to stay in control and not play the cannon. But what will happen after this red and colour? Where is his next
48.
red going to come from? They look a little tight, and he didn't take the invite to open them.
49.
When he's finishing there, now he can also go into the reds and just bring the red that he needs into play.
$54.
Yeah, looking at the scores, you'll realise this will be enough to leave John Higgins requiring a snooker.
$55.
Probably wouldn't want to roll this towards the pocket and leave it over the pocket. That might be a way back into the frame, so he may not go for it. If he does, he'll play it gently, I think, and just hope it just drops in, and that will be end of frame.
Well, Higgins left a red
62.
early on, wasn't punished, then he left another one. He has been. He needs 2 snookers to tie as it stands.
Shaun Murphy, 62.
So a good 62. Shaun Murphy in the driving seat.
Well, we saw the player view, and the reds aren't easy to hit. Just able to graze an edge of a red. These are the kind of frames you know that you should win them. You know, mathematically, a couple of snookers that John Higgins needs, but of course it's not quite over until maybe one more ball is potted.
I do think in this scenario who you're playing makes a difference, and Murphy's aware that John Higgins would be very near the top of the list of a player who could win a frame from here, so he'll be wary for sure. The danger is he gets a chance to clear 3 of the reds with blacks and then take it down to the last red feel he has quite a big chance, potentially. Free ball could come into it as well. But if he's left a long red on, he knows that Murphy is near the top of the list for knocking him in. And there it is. So it's going to be his frame.
1.
Yeah, I mean, he looks sharp, but then he always tends to look like he's cueing well, even when he isn't playing all that well. Very early in the season, and you never quite know how you're going to play. Yes, there's been one event, but this is the biggest one. The first real big
6.
one, and while you hope all the practice goes to something good, you never really can be sure how you're playing until you arrive on the match table.
7.
Not that partners with the frame one, but it's still well played.
Fourteen.
Shaun Murphy
15.
was runner-up in 2019 to Ronnie O'Sullivan in this invitation version, 11-9. Obviously then we weren't back here for 4 years. Lost 6-5 actually to Rob Milkins in this round last year.
$22.
Yeah, I think Milkins has proved a bit of a thorn in his side, actually, isn't he, in recent matches? That Welsh Open final, which
23.
Milkins beat Murphy, picked up the bonus. Murphy would have been favourite for that match too.
Yeah, just to go back to what I was saying earlier, two seasons ago, he won the Players and Tour Championship. Huge first prizes and ranking points, and
30.
the 2-year system, they will be coming off later in the campaign, but there's enough tournaments before that to pile plenty of points on. This event is about
33.
prestige. It's the top 16 in the world plus the Chinese wildcards. Huge first prize, 210,000.
37.
An early season test for all these guys against each other. And Murphy already looking good here. Made 62 earlier in the frame.
$42. 48.
And there's another half century, 55 the clearance. So Shaun Murphy, who thankfully did get his cue, having arrived here in Shanghai earlier in the week, leaves John Wilson 1-0 on the other table.
球员对着你的时候瞄球手不要球员对着你的时候瞄球出杆前手不要
Get the feeling John Higgins might like to start this match again. Nothing's really going for him yet.
I thought he looked really sharp the other day, though. You know, he did play well against Liu Shan. I mean, it was a match he thought he would win, but he was scoring well all the way through it. A good start to the new season. kind of how the last frame started, with Higgins missing a red into that pocket and leaving one on.
Yeah, I think the challenge for Higgins in recent times has been to back up, you know, one really good performance with another. He's been inconsistent, and that's obviously been something of an issue. The great clearance against Mark Allen at the World Championship, and then he wasn't quite the same against Kyron Wilson in the quarterfinals. Even at the Championship League, he won his first match against the new Latvian pro, Artemis Higgins, 3-0 in about half an hour, and then didn't win another one. Came back later in the day. Even on that one day, he wasn't quite the same later on.
One.
Higgins played into an area where he had various reds available to him.
6.
Now wrong side of the blue, so through the bulk area, back down. And not that many reds from the left side is all that easy to play on. He's decided to try and go into them. It's a good shot. He deserves to be on something, although there may be one red to the right corner. Just a little trace of left-hand side here, running it around 2 cushions, but not much. Already looking at which colour he can play on. Probably holding for the black is fine,
12.
but he's just trying to work out where the black will go when potted. I think if the yellow spot might be free, actually. The yellow's not on its spot. I don't know if there's enough room for the ball to go on there. John's not really given that any thought.
Just a moment, please.
Well, Peggy Lee has spotted it, but even though the yellow is not on its own spot, there still isn't enough to put a ball on there. Which means that the black goes somewhere that it will not be pottable from.
Thank you. 19.
It didn't look much, but he cued it really well, and now from the blue he's got the chance to do a bit of damage, move a few reds if he wants to, see what he can bring into play, perhaps high value colour in process. He did move reds, but he played it with an element of control, which
25.
I didn't anticipate, just playing it gently problem's not really gone away. I think the pink will be available to the pocket he's going to pop this red into, which helps.
$26. Just a moment, please.
Well, again, Peggy Lee just asking for a moment here. With these spots covered.
I think she's a very good referee. Shows great authority wherever she referees, and invariably, sometimes excitable crowds in Asia, she is able to keep in check.
Thank you, John. 32. $33.
Now this time, I think sometimes going directly up for the blue without hitting the right cushion on the way from that shot, there's a stronger chance of you not finishing the right angle on the blue. Playing into the cushion and out towards the blue, invariably players will finish perfectly on it. So now his next red's not going to be easy to get on. Especially at that range, unless there's a plant there, the bottom two reds perhaps. That's all I can think of, the reds below the pink.
38. Blue ball.
Now that may not be too bad. It initially didn't look as if it'd be on a red.
44. The white here.
Yes, he couldn't hold for the blue, but he didn't want the cue ball to travel beyond the
45.
baulk line. That's fine. Well, it is a really quick table, as we've been saying, but John at least does have the benefit of having played on it
47.
against Liu Shan on day one. Seems to already have adapted. I know they're always quick, but they're extra slippery cloth, I think, this week.
48.
Well, it's a chance. He's had to work these, hasn't he? Because black and pink for most of it have been out of commission, but it is a chance to add to his centuries tally, which, remember, stands at 998 for his career. It's 25 years since he won the China International. That was the first big event staged in Shanghai. It was a ranking tournament. And all four semi-finalists were Scottish. He beat Billy Snadden in the final. Stephen Hendry and Alan McManus were the other semi-finalists.
Yeah, I think Billy Snadden would be the quiz question answer, wouldn't he, that you mightn't get,
53.
although, of course, he was a good player for a period of time. He practiced a lot with Stephen Hendry and improved his game as a consequence.
Looking at that cue ball with a concern, it just stays out.
54.
Yeah, it's not dissimilar to the break that Murphy made this one, in that he was never totally in, quite honestly, but he just kept going. I mean, Murphy's was good. This is possibly even better, actually, because he just kept the break alive when it felt that you were about to see it end, shot by shot.
59.
Well, 59 in front, so this red should secure the frame.
60.
Again, this sort of wincing really is quick, this table. So not a century, and the frame not necessarily done, it's just one snooker.
60.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think when you come to the table, you can ever think, I'm going to make a century here. You do hope to just get the frame one, and kind of has done that. Although, I think that's what David Gilbert did, didn't he, in the Championship League? I read that he had to make a specific total to get through his group, and that did take some doing.
Yeah, he had to beat 1-3-1, because if all of the positions are tied in points and frame difference, it goes on the high break. And Jussa had made a 1-3-1, and Dave made a 1-3-6 in the last frame. Incredible.
Yeah, it's hard enough to make a century at any point, but to make one at will, almost like that, is when you need to, it's got some effort.
Well, you suspect that will be that for this frame. So Murphy dominated the first. Higgins has done likewise in the second.
John Higgins, 1.
3 snookers needed now.
I thought Murphy might concede, actually, after the Higgins shot, but he carries on. But the framing is done now, and Murphy will not concede until this visit is over, because it's kind of the thing you're meant to do, and something he's always done.
Yeah, it's interesting, Shaun, because he's quite an innovator in a lot of ways. He has ideas, but he's also, in a lot of other ways, a staunch traditionalist. Certainly when it comes to etiquette.
5.
Yeah, I mean, you are meant to let your opponent conclude. the visit to the table. I mean, you see players just whack the balls with their cue when they miss.
John Higgins 5, frame conceded.
Well, as I say, Higgins dominated the frame and he's levelled the match.
Well, there was a mid-session interval, but after 5 hours after they broke off for frame 1, they still haven't got their best of 11 done. And I always say this, but best of 11 that are close can be very long sessions of snooker.
Well, he must have broken off tens of thousands of times in his career. That was not one of his best. Caught the blue.
Any snooker player will tell you, Dave, that when you do hit the blue of the break, it is very annoying, infuriating. It's a mistake, and be often the blue is put into an awkward position. Doesn't really suit you. But it hasn't cost him in the process either.
No, in the end, the blue slightly hampered Murphy there. Maybe came to Higgins' rescue a little bit. Higgins was another player, wasn't he? He was sort of talking a little bit about, you know, he was at the end maybe, and was he going to carry on all of that? Well, thankfully, like Selby and a few of the others, the summer came along. He had a chance to get away from it all and reflect, and here he is. I mean, he's been in the top 16 since May the 1st, 1995. It's an extraordinary record.
Yeah, there were quite a few murmurings, weren't there, from players like that, who, as if it's a new thing to have lost an important match, and the disappointment has made you question whether you want to carry on, but invariably players do carry on.
Well, there's so much to play for now as well. You know, you don't have to play in everything if you don't want to, but there's some big, big prizes. This is one of them available.
Yellow ball. Blue ball. Thank you.
I think the Wishaw accent just caught Peggy Lee out there.
John Higgins 1.
Well, there you go. Within a couple of shots, things turned around there, didn't they? He didn't get on a colour off the red, Higgins, and then, unusually for him, didn't play a great safety.
Yellow ball. Shaun Murphy 1.
Been so well attended, this event. Of course, it is well established now. It's first staged as a ranking tournament, 2007. John Higgins won it in 2012. He was 7-2 down in the final to Judd Trump. He made a maximum and won 10-9. It's one of those finals that for a lot of players, that would be the career achievement, wouldn't it? It's just another one on John Higgins' list. Ooh.
Foul. And a miss. Shaun Murphy 4. Yeah.
Yes, the reason he missed that, I mean, he's never going to miss that snooker if he was just trying to hit the red, but he tried to hit the left side of it and just to graze off it. That's the reason he made no contact, and he's back there playing it again.
touch a bit more. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that sort of thing was what he tried first time. Now, if he takes his red on the black in clear view, suggests this is quite an important shot. If it goes in, gives him an early opportunity in this third frame. Ah, beautiful. He missed one at mid sort of range into that pocket earlier, which surprised him and me, given how good he is at cueing those shots. That one he struck delightfully. The way he held the cue ball for the black.
Eight. 9.
Hoping to get some reds moved here. Quite an unusual way to play it, the top spin. But I think if he'd have played to stun it, the cue would have swung a bit to the left. He is on a bottom red, a thinnish cut to the left corner, not the perfect split though otherwise. He has got a continuation red.
Shaun Murphy 14.
No huge reaction from Murphy. Higgins immediately looking to see whether the black passes. That red into the opposite corner pocket.
One.
Yes, Murphy will surely be concerned now because having opened the reds but not profited from it. Giving John Higgins the chance to do exactly that. He's clearly looking for a trophy, isn't he? That's what, you know, he's been so close to getting his hands on the last couple of years.
7.
We won't list the near misses now, there's no need to, but that's what's frustrated him. It's not that he's been playing badly, he hasn't. Been playing some really great stuff, actually, but just closing out a couple of matches here and there that have made the difference.
Yeah, there's quite a long list, isn't there? That is the other point. I mean, you don't want to mention them all, but there have been quite a few. And as you say, it's just the level of consistency match to match that he hasn't quite got now.
15.
His best is still almost on the verge of what it's always been.
Well, I heard him saying the
16.
other day that he's enjoying practicing again. I mean, that's half the battle, isn't it, when you get older, to actually enjoy getting out the house and getting the queue out. Been practicing with Ross Muir, another Scottish professional. So if he's enjoying putting the work in, that can only be good. Whether that'll last all season, we'll see.
Well, I think, again, speaking from a snooker player's perspective, in my case a former player, I think it sometimes helps who you're practicing with. Sometimes you can get some inspiration from your practice partner if they're enthusiastic and keen. And Ross Muir, no doubt, is looking to improve his own game.
He's got the best nickname, hasn't he, in snooker? Ross Muir, they call him Stenhouse. And for those of you who don't follow Scottish football, that's a football team. Stenhouse Muir.
$24. $31. $32.
Yeah, anything but getting the frame one here will disappoint John. Just slightly off straight, going to take the cue ball around 2 cushions for red to the opposite corner. Very nice. Murphy was in early, and as we saw,
39.
when he got that split, he had a slightly awkward red to cut in along the cushion, which he missed. Fine margins, of course, at this game.
40. $47. $48. $55.
Yeah, not too much more to do. 37 the lead. Red high value colour.
56.
And another red, so the left-hand red on the cushion or close to it will not be a factor for John Higgins. Very controlled stuff, this.
62.
Yeah, this red to get to snooker's required. And then we'll see, it's another opportunity maybe for a century. That red on the left you mentioned, obviously, is going to come into play for that. Nothing's ever going to top, obviously, Ronnie O'Sullivan's
63.
1000th century in that final in Preston in the last frame of the tournament, becoming the first man. But even so, for anyone to get to 1,000, it's a Huge achievement. John Higgins with the chance to do that here in Shanghai this week. 2 more needed, remember.
To be honest, that night when he made that 1000th century, like you say, and it was that's O'Sullivan all over, isn't it?
70.
It was never just going to be a nondescript frame of snooker in the middle of a tournament that he got the 1000. It was a lovely occasion. The crowd loved it.
71.
Clapping along on the colours when the century had been made. It was a great moment in the game to have been there. It was a privilege.
Well, now this is a key part of this break to get on this red. With a chance to get to 999.
Well,
78.
kibosh because these can be missed, but they have been going in reasonably well down this cushion. If you play them gently and anywhere near it.
79.
He's just travelled a bit awkwardly. I mean, he can pop this and head towards the yellow, but with the tables as quick as they are, you do well to hold for the yellow without going beyond the bulk line. Well, he's missed the pot anyway.
We'll have to wait,
79.
but John Higgins, he's playing good stuff. That's the bottom line, and if he carries on like this, it'll happen here this week, I'm sure. Shaun Murphy 2-1 down here to John Higgins. Got the reds open, didn't he, in that last frame, but broke down, and Higgins looked very good, made 79, had the chance for the century, just left that black awkward off the last red and missed it. I think a couple of latecomers coming in, or some slight distraction. Yeah. Peggy Lee just having a word. Yeah, she does have great authority. I agree with what you said earlier as a referee. You know, she'll say what needs to be said outside of actually officiating the match. It's a big crowd, which is good, but obviously a little bit of order is required.
On that shot when he hits the left-hand cushion, it always seems to spin back towards the pocket. Joey Long is actually cleared in that frame. That'll be a bitter pill to swallow, losing that one for Karen Wilson.
Yeah, 3-0's bad enough, but like you say, how the frame turned.
One. Six. Seven. Just a moment, please.
You know, the pink will have to respot below the bunch here. Can't go anywhere else.
Hey. 13.
Yeah, well, he was going to play from black into the reds, but now it could well be that he can knock the pink in and... well, no, he's not trying. I thought he was going to play the pink and get the reds open that way. Maybe that option's not open to him.
$21. $22.
Sometimes that is the best way to go into them from the blue, from that sort of an angle when the reds are very tightly bunched. But he hit it so well.
27.
And the sort of the fact the balls are so light, you've got to come quite close to a corner pocket to get that shot right. And they opened up lovely. Been enjoyable.
28.
3 and a bit frames so far. These two look in good form.
$31. $32.
Yes, it seemed there he played on the black. He holds his hand up, he's on the pink.
$38. $39. $46.
Well, so far, really, all 4 frames have been one-sided either way. Murphy the first, Higgins the next 2. Shaun Murphy so far this one.
47.
Another nice little cannon there. For someone with a lot of cue power and
54.
ability to hit the balls at pace, he's also got a good touch, Murphy.
55.
However, that has gone wrong. There's more a question there of sort of trying to get through that red, and he almost went round the back of it. So that break is over. Now it's a question of taking your medicine and playing the right shot, which would be to try and get a colour onto a cushion if possible. The problem it's also got is that the 2 reds on the right, it's hard to ensure they'll end up safe, because you could be leaving John something at long range to go at. And we all know what John Higgins is like. You can clear these up if the chance comes. really do with something on a cushion, though.
Shaun Murphy, 55.
Well, there you have it. He made the decision to put the brown save, which is completely right and proper, but he's kind of left John a kind of red over the years he's knocked in. I mean, it's not easy, but if it goes in, he's back in the frame.
One.
I don't think Murphy had a very easy decision to make there. But John played it confidently, the long red, and as I say, one ball on a cushion does not mean the frame cannot be cleared up here. Every chance John could do so. First step, try and get some points on the board and get back into it.
Eight. Nine.
Well, this is a chance to nudge the three reds with the other red in play, so he can just develop them quite gently, I think. Sure to play it. I say gently because he didn't want to push any of the reds onto a cushion, but he's still not happy with his
16.
cueing on this shot. Quite over the top of a red.
Shaun Higgins,
Yes, and it made a
16.
big difference, as you can see. So, feels like he's kind of handed the frame now to Murphy, already 39 in front.
Yeah.
He'd be relieved, Shaun Murphy, because he watches as much snooker as anybody, and he's well aware of the great clearances Higgins has made over the years. That could have been another one there.
One.
Yeah, he can breathe a sigh of relief when this
8.
red goes in, because the one chance was not enough because of that positional error.
9.
But I think honours even, not only in the scoreline, but on the balance of play. It probably deserves to be 2 each. Been good 4 frames.
Fourteen. 15.
Yeah, I think they always enjoy playing each other, even though they both know it's going to be tough. You kind of know what to expect. If you're John Higgins, you know what to expect. If you're Shaun Murphy, you know you're really going to have to play good stuff to stand a
22.
chance. And they both have so far.
23. 29. 31.
Well, didn't go to plan, but the frame
31.
well and truly won.
Shaun
Higgins
Higgins
did
scored.
have half a chance there, but it's Shaun Murphy delighted to get to the interval. It's been
Thank you.
good
5.
open attacking
Shaun
stuff
Higgins,
from
Super 8.
Shaun Murphy and John Higgins. It's 2-2, so it's set up nicely. Best of 11. Higgins to get us underway again. Did have a couple of chances in the frames he won to get centuries, but that can all wait. The 1,000 centuries here to try and win matches, win tournaments, and if he's doing that, then obviously the big breaks are going to come.
Think about this event being like the Masters that's played in London these days at the Ali Pali, and it's very prestigious, as it always is into a new year being down in Alexandra Palace. But of course, prize money's high. It's even higher in the Masters, gone up to 350,000 first prize. That is a serious chunk, isn't it, that the money's gone up to for the London version, if you like, or the original version.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there can only be one winner per tournament, but the first prizes now, they're all big, aren't they? And of course the Masters this season is going to be the 50 years, isn't it? It's going to start in 1975, so it'll be a big anniversary. The new ranking event in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, that's $500,000 to the winner.
One. Green ball. Shaun Murphy 1. Foul.
Yes, that one didn't reach, although
Shaun Murphy 4.
it almost got closer than I expected. Shouldn't be a problem, this. I mean, the two reds, if you can just nestle up to them, then he won't leave anything. But of course, he overhit or you get slightly ill-directed, and this man could step in, Murphy.
Foul. And a miss.
Well, even closer this
Come on,
time,
four.
if it was possible. Peggy Lee was right on top of it, and she saw that it was probably a couple of millimetres short of pace. No miss to be called, obviously, as he can not get direct access to any of the reds, never mind one of them.
Strong. touching ball.
You might have heard Peggy Lee just saying something to Shaun Murphy, just that it was a touching ball, so he has the option just to play. Well, he will be able to play away, he'll have to. And he won't have to hit a red, because he's touching a red already. Taking the cue ball wide, around 4 cushions here, might see it go behind yellow or brown.
Thank you. One.
That's an excellent long pot, and I think the best part about it wasn't the pot, it was just the control of the cue ball. It's gliding round in behind the blue nicely.
Six. Seven. Twelve. Thirteen.
Well, the angle on the green, the cue ball's kind of travelling quite pacily away from the green, so he might just, I mean, he could swing the cue ball into a
Great
number
ball.
of reds here. Chance his arm a little bit. He might not want to. It just seems the right way to play it, more logical. Yeah, it's a good shot.
16. 17. Twenty.
Well, he's done well to get where he has so far with this break. The Reds, of
21.
course, have gone more awkwardly placed, but the fact that he's at the table and still scoring and he's got a chance to add to it, it becomes John Higgins' problem now. I think that the Reds are
Brown ball.
quite close to cushions, or a number of them are. Shaun Murphy's almost in possession here, isn't he? And it's a question of getting a big lead, with not necessarily going to get over the
25.
line in this visit, but with the balls awkwardly, it might amount to the same thing. And he missed
26.
not a similar red to that earlier in the match, but not this time.
$31.
Again, that's a really
32.
nicely played shot. Encouraging signs, I think, for Murphy. Again, it's early season. Didn't do a great deal in the Championship League, but here he is in Shanghai, and his game looks in good form to me. No doubt putting in some hours.
37.
It's always difficult to tell with him because, as I said earlier, he always looks to be very confident, even when he perhaps isn't.
Yeah, I think with Murphy, he always wants to play. There's never a sort of sense he wants to be anywhere else. You know, he loves, as I say, putting that suit on, going out
38.
there. Still has that kind of almost boyhood fascination with snooker. He's really had to work hard here, though, hasn't he? The pink and black out of commission all the time.
He has, Dave, but he's played some beautiful shots to land perfectly on the blue about 3 or 4 times, and that is not as easy as he's made it look.
Well, he's getting there, isn't he? 52 the lead. 75
43.
in theory still on, but of course that's with blacks. He's in a very strong position where those two big colours are. Higgins miles behind in the frame.
44.
Well, he needs a little bit more, another red, so he might just, the two reds close to each other to the right of the black, not the ones in the middle of the table, the two on the right. He could play to almost split them here. That's what he's tried. And that's a delightful shot. That's exactly how it was intended.
Yeah, so
49.
just checking the scores. He's going to need red and colour.
Yeah, I mean, he is, although even if he didn't get his colour, I'm not sure how anyone could get to 4 reds and blacks from where they are. Blacks glued to the cushion, but it's been
50.
one of these breaks that you think, well, it's not all that many, but it's been really well played.
Exactly, it's not always about the figure, it's about how you've gone about it, and he's had to really work hard. But that's not a problem for Shaun Murphy. He's really just kept going brilliantly here.
55. 56. Blue ball.
Don't think John Higgins would be coming to the table. He nods his head.
Firm conceded.
It's a terrific break that from Shaun Murphy. Not straightforward at all. So he...
看
So Shaun Murphy 3-2 up here against John Higgins. There's never been more than a frame in it so far. None of the frames have really been close. Higgins did have that chance, of course, in the fourth, but to clear up, but didn't really get too far into it. This is what he can see from the bulk end.
I think we made the point at the start of the match, Dave, didn't we, that this is a really close match to call. It doesn't feel any different, having seen 5 frames. It sometimes comes down to one shot or one little nudge here or there as to who wins and who ends up on the flight home. At the moment, there's a bit of a swing towards Murphy, but we're nowhere near the end of this match yet. Good effort, wasn't it? He thought that was in when he hit it, you know. And well, certainly that's how I viewed it, although maybe there was something else happening off the table. I don't know. There's a stern words from Peggy Lee about something.
There's a bit of a death stare there from Murphy as well. He wasn't happy, whatever it was. Somebody got the look.
One. Eight. Nine.
Well, he has no choice here, but I think you have to feel that he'll surely go into some of the reds. The left-hand red would be a nice one to stun into. Well, even then, he's got that part of it, but it shows you that however good you are, you still need a little bit of break
16.
or two to get these balls opened up. End of visit by the looks of it now. And the scoring tables, you know, you get in first, you would hope that that would be a big advantage, but it's proven not to be one here at this time.
John Higgins, 16.
that was a mistake, and just to nudge that red was a little fortunate. Oh, that is a terrific shot. And you could do with the cue ball just bouncing off the cushion, but it was a great part. These are so difficult. You've got to cue them right. The angle is quite difficult to locate in your mind. Just feel it's going to be quite difficult to separate these two. This could be a very close match. Might need all of the 11 frames to see out a winner. Feels like that kind of a game.
Four. Nine. 10.
Yeah, I mean, there's been the odd error in the match, but there's been no sort of glaring mistakes, really. It's been high quality.
Seventeen.
Ooh, well, that could be one. That could be
Shaun
one
Higgins,
there.
No, I
17.
was agreeing with you, but all of a sudden that was one of those, wasn't it? Quite serious and unexpected errors. How did he miss that? Goodness. It wasn't as if he was even trying anything with the cue ball except to just run through onto the blue. Come out of absolutely nowhere, that one.
One.
That's a brilliant rest shot, isn't it? I mean, to play around two cushions. Absolutely superb. And played so confidently.
Eight.
Just a little deft cannon into those. You didn't really want to end up bridging over the top of a number of reds, I think. From here, it's not so bad. He was just in front of the reds a little way.
9.
What a chance to get a two-frame lead. Yes, he's behind, but he could turn this into something pretty impressive here.
Sixteen. 17. $24.
Well, just to confirm, it is 5-0 to Zhou Yulong against Karen Wilson. So, a bit of a nightmare start to proceedings for Wilson in this big tournament.
25.
Now, you're going to play on a loose red, of which cue ball on the left side of the table
Brown
should
ball.
allow him at least 2 to go at. The fact that he's playing the brown makes me think he is playing on a red. And go into the green and split the 6 reds up, but he doesn't need to do that. He wants to keep everything under control rather than take any risks of a bad break or anything.
29.
Bad luck.
$30. $37. $38.
Now I think he'll be trying to get the cue ball ever to the right side where he's got the 1 red, but I'm not sure the other 3 are going to be that easy to dislodge or bring into play. For now, it doesn't appear that they will go into many pockets, those 3 reds. Once his right hand one has been
43.
taken. So an angle on the black here is pretty important.
44.
So he's clearly going to nudge them again. He probably preferred to go into the right side, perhaps, of these 3. Like that, although he's got close to it. It wasn't the perfect cannon. And now, the next
51.
shot, at long range and with slightly awkward cueing, is a big one.
Yeah, it feels like a big shot in this match, this. Higgins, of course, missed an easier one to middle. Murphy's knocked that in, though.
52.
So, big chance to pull away to 4-2. What a terrific red.
Beautiful shot, wasn't it? Just the way he knocked it in with such confidence again. Could not have played it better, and it was really awkward, actually, that shot. Cueing down on the ball because the black was under his cue.
57.
A major distraction.
58.
Yeah, the 2 key shots, obviously the missed red from Higgins and then that pot from Murphy, just scrutinising the scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't play a brilliant shot on this black because he didn't want this angle. Taking the cue ball around 2 cushions, but again, he's played it nicely. So he only wants a red.
So just that one lapsed,
65.
unexpected miss, whatever caused it from Higgins, opened the door, and Shaun Murphy is now playing some seriously good stuff.
66.
It was a bad one to miss, though, wasn't it? I mean, he was just rolling it into the middle. I don't know if it is mind on things further down the line, but he seemed to forget about the easy pot there.
Well, the problem he's had in recent times, Higgins, is when things like that have happened, and they do happen, he's getting over it. So that's the test now, but the other test, of course, is how well his opponent's playing. Feels like quite a big shift, actually, towards Murphy now.
75.
Just the way this has turned around.
78. $82.
Just enough on for a ton. I mean, he's no slouch in the centuries department himself. Shaun Murphy, 657 to his name.
87. $93.
Well, it's going to have to be quite a special black to make it. How's it looking? How's it looking? Oh, not quite.
Shaun Murphy, 93.
He's disappointed not to make the century, but delighted to win the frame, especially how it happened. John Higgins was going nicely, missed an easy red unexpectedly. Shaun Murphy. So Shaun Murphy has made his move 4-2. He leads John Higgins. He needs 2 more to advance to the last 8 here in Shanghai. Yeah, just played that sort of slow black to the yellow pocket, having not got on it as intended, and you could see he was a bit disappointed not to make the ton. But I suspect he's got over it pretty quickly as he knocks that red in. Little kiss would be handy.
He got it as well, didn't he? Because that kiss, more often than not, you won't get it. But it was such a good red, who's to say he didn't deserve to be on the colour. Yeah, the black is onto the right corner.
4. $11. $12.
Yeah, purposely finishing just short on this red, because this will certainly open reds up, and Murphy has never been shy of getting the reds wide open.
19.
2 ways of doing it, with topspin, or in this case I think bottom of the ball, screwing back onto the black into the same pocket. The reds haven't really split.
20.
In fact, they barely moved.
$27. 28.
Once again, I don't think you'll mind that. There's always a danger the cue will just drift onto a cushion from that shot. But it's the reds haven't opened
35.
up much, but it's pretty good. Got a couple of reds on now. You talk about one shot changing a match, and this match is not over yet, so we don't know what the shots are. But the red to middle that John missed in the previous frame feels like, at this stage, a swing towards Murphy, a big one. A shot he would probably miss, I don't know, once in 100.
$41. $42.
And once again, he's got the red on the right of the little bunch of 7, which will pop to the right corner. He could land on it, or will he decide
Brown ball.
to split them? Playing the controlled shot. What I have noticed, though, because the tails are quick, more often than not, when you do go into them, they spread.
46.
They've opened up very nicely all the way through these 3 days. And they'll be opened up here from this rest shot when he knocks it in, if he knocks it in. Two at a time. He won't mind that red going in. There's one less he's got to worry about, although staying over the pocket probably would have made his next shot easier.
$53. $54.
So this red to lead by 60 with 59 on.
59.
What an extraordinary change that missed red from Higgins has made to this match. Sometimes
60.
you see a shot and you think that's a turning point. It doesn't always prove to be, but my word, it has been in this match.
The other thing to say about this match, I'm sure that Shaun Murphy's absolutely delighted with how he's playing. Because as I said before, it's early season, Championship League. He didn't retain his title, and of course didn't get anywhere near doing it. So to come here in this big event and play like this, and if somehow he still lost this match, I'm sure he'd take encouragement. But for now, it doesn't appear that he is going to lose it. He's playing terrific stuff, hitting the ball like a dream.
Yeah, it was a rather anxious arrival in Shanghai with his cue following a day later.
75.
But now he's been reunited with it. He's looking deadly.
76.
Just missed the century in the last frame.
'83.
Can he knock this red in and potentially make one in this one? Not to be, but 83 will win you a frame either way. So Shaun Murphy has made his move in this match. He's won all 3 frames after the interval, and he's one away, leading John Higgins 5-2.
It's actually turned out to be a good break, although the red wasn't meant to go up the table. But now that it's covered by the brown, it gives John a bit of a problem here, because a safety shot to bolt would be so difficult to play. He might have to just play the containing shot, cue ball at this end, red pushed back down the table. It's a bit of a sloppy shot, actually, because I mentioned the difficulty in playing the safety shot into bulk with the red there, and he's nudging the brown, giving John an early in. That was an unforced error.
One. Blue ball.
Got too much on it, too much left-hand side, running side. Threw the cue ball wider.
6.
Target was the bunch of reds. So the mistake from Shaun Murphy with safety has not cost him. Higgins a bit off the pace now. Still in the match, but only just.
Shaun Higgins 6.
Yes, another shot that could have been played better by Higgins, so whether he's lost a bit, become a bit dispirited, I don't know. He's not been the same player since he missed that easy red to right middle. But like ever, you know, Murphy still has to get this match won.
Just a reminder, the quarterfinals played tomorrow, so the winner of this match plays Zhou Yulong in the first session, and Mark Selby will play either Mark Allen or Pang Zhengzhou, and then the evening session in Shanghai, which is this session in Europe, Ronnie O'Sullivan v Ding Junhui, and Judd Trump against Si Jiahui. Going to be some day. Saw Higgins walk away there because he's realised he's left this red on. So this could be the beginning of the end if it goes in. And there it is.
Yeah, I mean, he looks good. I don't think one about the ball he missed. Since then, I mean, even in this frame, he's played 3 or 4 shots, Higgins, that are not anywhere near the standard we'd expect from him. That last one was totally out of character to just give away a chance.
I think this is the frustrating thing for him. It's been the case for a couple of years. You know, if his game had just gone and he couldn't play anymore, then in some ways you could accept it. But he's actually playing really good stuff. He played really well in his last match. He was looking good in this match. And then one unexpected miss. And the wheels have sort of come off, haven't they? And that's been the challenge for Higgins, just cutting out that odd mistake out of nowhere. And then also, if they come, sort of recovering from them, getting the composure back. It must be really frustrating.
14.
But of course it doesn't help also when you're playing someone like Shaun Murphy, who in early season is looking really good. And he's punishing when the chances come.
Twenty-two. Twenty-three.
Yeah, he didn't have complete control of the cue ball there.
28. 29.
Yes, he's getting closer, isn't it, he feels, to Murphy getting this match won. Although, probably the next colour is a key one. If he could get on it nicely to land on the bottom red, he could be in business here.
34.
That looks good. That looks good. He could play on the bottom red. He could screw into the pink, but he's kind of a bit above to the right of the main bunch. The likelihood is he'll play on the single red here, just to keep the break going, and he'll realise that there's a big shot still to be played. I probably feel he's just
39.
the man to play it, the way things are going. He's played and cued really nicely today.
40. $47. $48.
So, this time not correctly on the blue. He could play the two-cushion shot with running side to just go into the bunch. It could be a match winner. Of course, it can go wrong as well. Or does he try and play on the loose red? John doing what I've seen him staring, I think not able to completely close his mind off of maybe a couple of things that have happened so far in this match. Playing round two into them, he's missed it, goodness. Now he doesn't want to be on one. Wow, he's really lucky
Shaun Murphy,
there.
48.
That is very fortunate. He's left nothing, I would say. And when Shaun Murphy missed that blue, it was one of the few mistakes we've seen from him, in fact.
Blue, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And he seems to want the blue clean. Maybe feels he got a kick. I'm not sure about that,
I'll
but
get my wet towel and then give it white, okay?
maybe he wants people to think he did anyway.
Well, Peggy's off to get the wet towel, so it must take a bit of shifting, whatever's on it. Maybe a Brillo pad as well. I can say they are underway on table one. Mark Allen and Pang Zhengzhou 5-4 to Pang, of course, resuming after failing to get it completed earlier.
Well, this two-ball plant is very difficult, but he's playing it with a lot of safety in the back of his mind as well.
Well, that's just to confirm what I was saying. Mark Allen and Pang back underway. 30-0 to Pang. He was in there with a chance to get it won, but it's not been that straightforward this match, has it? It was 3-0 up, it was worth saying. Allen was struggling badly then. He did make a century, Allen, but he's not been at his best today, but we know he can battle. It's Discovery Plus at the moment for that one. The winner plays Mark Selby, who was through pretty comfortably 6-1 over Chad Jin earlier. The wild card he did for Jack Jones. So both world finalists out of the Shanghai Masters. Karen Wilson beaten 6-0 by Zhou Yulong.
That'll do. Nestling him right in behind the brown ball here. Murphy didn't really want to be moving this red, but it's the only one he can hit, so not much else he can do. At least he knows he can get it safe from that red. He hasn't pushed it away from the cushion all that much. Yeah, I mean, it was a chance to get the safe red off the table by potting it, but it was difficult. I'm afraid his game has fallen to pieces somewhat. Not dramatically, but his game has tailed off today. Pressure's been put on him. But I think it was more a question of Murphy just capitalising on that bad ball that he missed in an earlier frame, Higgins, and he's almost pressed it home.
One.
Got to finish the job off here, and that's no good. That is no good at all. He might have to play the black here. I mean, what else can he do? I mean, if he knocks the black in and clears up, then, well, not even clears up. But if black goes in, the likelihood is the match is over. He doesn't want to have to play it, but then I suppose he could play to pot it and leave the cue ball the other end of the table out of harm's way. He's forced into playing this. Well, I've not played it hard enough. It was something I hadn't put in the calculations, quite honestly.
No, so Higgins sort of hanging on by his fingernails here. Murphy has not put him away.
Once again, I don't think Murphy really wanted to get this red in play. I think he would have been reluctant, but maybe if there's no other shot, then you have to play a good safety shot, in fairness, like he has. Just another red in play when you've got a lead, then it's usually your opponent's problem, that ball that's on a cushion.
Yeah, just avoided the kiss there on the red. That could have been curtains. That's the problem for Higgins now. Every shot could be his last. But equally, it could have been over by now. Murphy knows that.
Well, that has to be in Murphy's favour, because the red clearly is never going to be potted anytime soon by the black. So Higgins can't clear, basically. That's what it's saying. And Murphy doesn't have to clear up. He needs a few more reds. Murphy does play a safety shot to the right of one of these reds. He's going to have to ensure he doesn't knock the black in somehow. That's a very good shot. That's really well played. And John Higgins taps the table to acknowledge that fact. There's an even bigger problem. He should be able to hit these reasonably, but it's getting a little bit of a concern, that left corner. Could be that Murphy could just slide the cue ball to the left in behind those three reds down the side here. In fact, it looks like he's... I was going to say hit them off one cushion, but even then he's finished short. Probably go back. And as John can see, a very powerful argument not to put him back in. Can't see any point in him just having a go at something. He's going to get the balls replaced. Not if he's not in loads of trouble, I would say.
No, but he had such a good chance early, didn't he? Just played that one poor positional shot and ended up... The only colour he was on was that thin black, and that's why the black is where it is. He left it short, and now the Reds are gathering round it, and a frame that could have been over sort of 10 minutes ago, he's now got very cagey.
Foul. And miss. John Higgins 4.
Well, there you go, the big pocket.
Yeah, I must say, I didn't think that would, like it was big enough for the ball to go in anyway. But clearly it was. It only just made it. It almost got wedged up against the black ball. The worst part about it is where he's finished, really. I mean, he's not on a colour very easily. You could probably cut the pink in, but even this is quite thin. It's not a certainty. Well, this would feel a real turnaround if he could do something here. Now he's got to get onto his next colour. It's not easy as well. The next shot might just tell us more about whether he's really going to get back into this frame or not. People at home might think this next shot is easy if he plays the yellow. I mean, steer the table again. It's the cue ball is kind of running a little loose. You've got to be careful here not to go in off somewhere. And controlled it nicely. Now all of a sudden, it is a very different looking frame to what it was earlier.
Yeah, let's be honest, John Higgins looked out of this match completely. He looked fed up.
10.
I'm not saying he'd given up, but he looked frustrated. Murphy had the chances to get it won, but now he's got the bit between his teeth again, hasn't he? The great competitor he is, sensing a chance to pull one back. And who knows after that? 5-all, by the way, Mark Allen and Pang Zhengzhou, so they're just starting their decider.
Eleven. Eighteen.
I think maybe someone just disturbed him there, just settling again.
$19.
Of course, he was 5-2 up last year, wasn't he, against Ronnie O'Sullivan in the quarterfinals, and that turned around. These matches can do.
Yeah, and it could be that there is a shift, but it's got to finish off this
26.
job. I think the green and the brown, despite being fairly close, are not really in each other's way. They could conceivably play on one of those bold colours here, but either way, if he was behind the yellow, he could get on the green from that side of the table, so he should be all right. All he's got to
27.
do is make sure he has the right angle in behind the green to get back for the yellow. And vice versa, yellow to green. Doesn't want to be in any way hampered by the brown. And it looks perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
32.
Well, now pressure growing on Murphy to keep his confidence and positivity. Assuming we do go into another frame. He's not won this one
34.
yet, but golden chance to do so. John Higgins was
37.
starting to make mistakes, wasn't he? But he always, throughout his career, has come alive in moments like this when the chips are down. And there's a clearance to be
41.
made. How many times has he stepped in and made it? He won the little tactical duel with the black over the pocket. He used the big pocket to get in. He had to keep it going with some really good stuff early on.
46.
And now he needs this pink to keep the match alive. What a steal. What a steal from John Higgins. Shaun Murphy had the chances to get the match won. He's going to have to do it again in the next frame. The crowd really appreciative of that break. John Higgins really fought back well in that last frame to keep this match alive. He trails 5-3.
你好，上面的观众不要再放下来了，原地就坐。
That is an outrageous fluke. Because the shot he played was fraught with huge amounts of danger. He's gone thick off the bunch. I mean, balls are flying in all directions. One's gone in, and that's the key. I suppose if he can knock this colour in, it really will be a telling blow. But it was a fluke and a half. More in the context rather than being a spectacular one.
Blue ball.
You've got to treat it, though, that you've knocked in a brilliant red and you're on this colour, because it doesn't matter how you get them. So a big stroke of luck for Shaun Murphy, who might feel after the last frame he needs it,
6.
because he had that frame snatched away from him when he really should have won the match by now.
Seven.
Ping to middle is going to be a big shot. Gonna have to play it as well. I can't see any way he wouldn't. These are shots you can overcut these, hit them to the top jaw if you're not careful. Very cool. So another great chance to win the match.
13. 14.
It's a very strange game sometimes, isn't it? I mean, Higgins had made that great break there, and Shaun Murphy plays a bad shot. You think Higgins has got a chance maybe for 5-4, then a red trickles in. He may not get another shot. Up to Murphy to certainly not feel guilty here. Just press on, try and get this one.
20. 21.
Well, that one must have given a little moment there because it didn't go in cleanly. Just off the left jaw as we look. And he's having one scare as he had in the previous frame is one thing, but doesn't want to have another one here, and all of a sudden you're wondering if somehow you're going to lose the match. But if he thinks about that fluke, he might realise that today could be his day, because it was a outrageous mistake.
27.
Stroke of good fortune to be in the first place here.
28.
And he's brought about this wonderful chance now.
$34. 35. 41. 42.
So enough out in open play here again, like the last frame I suppose, to put this match away. Now I can just stun in behind the black to the opposite corner.
48. 49.
What a signal for Higgins, though, just as he was coming good again in the match. This is why you kind of understand it when players talk about retiring and doing something else and all the rest of it, because it can be a real head scrambler, this sport.
Yeah, but then of course the next day when you wake up you realise it's the thing
56.
you do best in the world, and you know, what else would certain snooker players do? They didn't play snooker so brilliantly, I suppose. But yeah, it can hurt, especially when you're travelling halfway around the world
57.
for a tournament. You've got a lot of things to think about on your journey home. Higgins, if he does lose, he's been beaten by the better player, there's no doubt. His comeback in this match was a good effort in the previous frame. Murphy got lucky here. Murphy's been the better player, so that is the fact.
Well, he's a couple of balls from securing his
63.
quarter-final place.
$64.
Of course, he's grown up watching the greats, including John Higgins, so any win over him is very satisfying, because it's always tough. Blue to lead by 69 with 67 on. And it's not there. I mean, he didn't play, obviously,
Shaun Murphy,
for it to the
64.
corner. So another twist potentially. There's still enough on, at least, for Higgins here.
I think that was a problem with that chance. You know, mathematically, yes, he could win. We know that he's well capable of dishing up. But, you know, the two reds up the table with high-value colours didn't seem very likely. Yeah,
good pot. And he's on this blue, so it's going to be Shaun Murphy progressing. He certainly has been the better player. There wasn't much between them early on. We saw that big mistake from John Higgins in the 6th frame when he missed a red. Murphy's looked very solid. Obviously didn't get the last frame one, had a fluke in this one, but I think he'll be delighted. He lost here last year in a decider to Robert Milkins. So first match was on the plane back home again, but he'll be taking on Zhou Yulong on Thursday, assuming that John Higgins doesn't get the 3 snookers he needs. Shaun Murphy runner-up to Ronnie O'Sullivan in 2019 here, 11-9 it was, close match. That red makes sure.
7. Pink ball.
And now he can just relax. Job done.
I'm sure he's really pleased that, yes, there was a couple of bumps in the road later on in the match, but I'm sure he must be pleased with his overall form. He's cueing
13.
nicely. Been confident today, picked up the pace of the table. And as I say, he's played the better of the two by some margin.
Shaun Murphy, 13.
Shaun Murphy completes victory over John Higgins, an entertaining match. It always seems to be when these two play. On this occasion, it's Murphy who gets the win. The crowd enjoyed it. He certainly enjoyed it. 6-3. And he'll play Zhou Yulong, who, of course, has beaten the world champion, Karen Wilson, 6-0. They'll play in the quarterfinals here in Shanghai on Thursday.